Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the press conference of the National Electoral Commission, the first conference on the day of the voting. A warm welcome to members of the National Electoral Commission. I would like to welcome the members of the press, and I would like to welcome all the persons who are following our internet transmission at the website infot.com.pl. I would like to give the floor now to the chairman, Stefan Jaworski. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to inform you that the local government elections have started. They started at 7 a.m. this morning. 27,435 polling stations have been opened, including 1,479 separate polling stations, whereas the voting in the separate polling stations will start a bit later and it will be able to close a bit earlier, that is at 6 p.m. I would like to remind our electorate that every voter going to the polling station will receive 4 or 3 ballots. 3 ballots will be distributed in the county cities, except for Warsaw, where we vote for the councillors of the districts, and the voters will be given 4 ballots there. When voting, the voters shall put a cross next to the surname of the elected candidate at each individual piece of ballot. Some ballots will consist of 1 single page, others will come in form of a brochure. However, no matter what form of the ballot, a cross has to be put, 1 single cross. Let me also mention that during the electoral silence, as well as during the preparation period for the voting today, there were a few minor incidents. And now I will give the floor to Judge Włodzimierz Ryms to inform you about the details. The floor is yours. Thank you very much. Today, starting from midnight until 7:30 in the morning, according to the data from the police, there were together about 137 incidents, which can be classified as incidents constituting an interruption of the electoral silence. As it was the case during previous elections, some posters were taken off, banners were destroyed. These incidents, as I said, about 137 of them, are now investigated by the enforcement bodies. Moreover, I would like to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that there were a couple of events which are directly connected with the very voting process. Namely, in Głogów Małopolski municipality, an event took place during the verification and counting of ballots in order to be distributed to the District Electoral Commission. A lack of 480 ballots were missing vis-à-vis the printed out ballots. Information about that was reported to the police in order to clarify the missing of 480 ballots. Those were ballots for the elections of the mayor of Głogów Małopolski. It turned out that the number of ballots which were collected from the printing house and brought to the City Hall in Głogów after verification in order to distribute them to the Electoral Commission was smaller by 480. This particular matter is being now investigated and clarified by the police. And now particular attention is paid to the fact whether there are no signs to the extent that there are some missing ballots. There was another incident. The nature of it was as follows. In 3 polling stations of district electoral commissions in Chorzów, there was no electricity for 1 hour. Despite of that shortage, the voting started at 7 a.m. Nevertheless, there were some difficulties due to the fact that at 7 a.m. There was not enough light to enable smooth voting. In one of the municipalities in District Electoral Commission number 9 in Nowe Miszewo, ballots were wrongly stamped. However, that was noted before the election started, and that mistake was corrected. There was also another incident, namely to one of the polling stations of the District Electoral Commission, 2 persons of trust reported to one single election committee. As we know, only one trust person can be reported to a single election committee. The chairman of the commission tried to convince this person of trust to leave the polling station, but that person didn't want to follow the instruction. According to the knowledge that we have, both persons of trust are still remaining in that very polling station. That is all about the incidents which were reported today. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any questions, please, the floor is yours. Take the microphone and ask the questions using the microphone, please. If there are no questions, we'd like to thank you very much for this first meeting. The next conference will take place at 1:30 p.m.